Good evening. This is Scorpio Chronicles, and you are watching Kickstarter Connection. Good evening. It is March 23rd, and you are watching another show of Kickstarter Connections where we talk with different independent comic creators, artists, their backgrounds, and how they get started, especially about their Kickstarter. Speaking of independent comic creators and artists, if you get the opportunity, please head over to indiecomicdispatch.com and where you can actually see our reviews, our updates, the top 10 different independent comics and artists and creators. And you can also find out what is the next best thing that's coming up. If you also love us that much that you want to give us just a little support, help us keeps our lights on. It's not nice to do this show in the dark. It's kind of scary and spooky. It's not a good look on me. So you can also go to our Patreon and go ahead and support us with that Patreon. And so we can keep things running here. Tonight, we actually have a good show. We have two gentlemen. We have Ace, which is Animation Comics Ent, Mr. Dwayne, and also his brother Terrence. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know we're doing pretty good so far. How's everybody?
Awesome, awesome. I am glad to have you all here with us tonight. We are here to talk about your Kickstarter, Nightfall and Salvation, which are two different comics that you have on that Kickstarter, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get right into that. Now, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, just to give y'all an update, I'm gonna do this and you all can do this again. Kickstarter is supposed to be going down in about a few hours. So if you get a chance, go ahead and support this Kickstarter before it goes down. Yes, it's just down for maintenance. Yes, it's gonna come back up, but I would like for them to get some numbers before it goes down. Okay, we wanted to get them to go ahead and support them.
Every hour counts, you know what I mean?
Everything counts. So we have Dwayne and Terrence, and I do have to let you all know a little funny background. When Dwayne contacted me about the Kickstarter, I thought it was Dwayne McDuffie. Um, didn't think about it. Hey, the guy's dead. So I was like, Dwayne McDuffie. He was like, no, I wish it was. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I would have been talking to the dead, and that's not a fun thing to do at the moment. I don't care for talking to the dead too much. Kind of scary, a little bit, especially if they have a Kickstarter. It'll probably be an interesting Kickstarter, but I still wouldn't care for talking to the dead. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and get into these questions. Of course, we do welcome you to Kickstarter Connections. Now, just to get started, I want you to each of you tell us about yourselves and how did you become a comic book creator, artist, writer, editor, however.
Kevin? I'll take first, center stage first. Spotlight you on me, I guess. I've always been interested in comic books since I was about like 3 or 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I love drawing my own sketches of Superman and Spider-Man, Batman. But when Spawn came out, that's like the one thing that really caught my eye. The way Image had like their artwork for it was just like ahead of its time, and that really put me on that path of I kind of want to do this.
Yeah, he has a cape like no other.
Yeah.
Can no one top Spawn's cape? I swear. When that thing comes out, I'm just like, oh.
It's, the level of detail and their artwork.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Can't be touched. Oh yeah.
I think Spawn and he's really one of my inspirations for just creating and seeing, especially when it comes to character development.
Yeah.
Those character flaws, making them kind of relatable.
Oh yeah.
Always trying to incorporate challenges to whether it impacts the character positively or negatively.
Correct.
I think that's always important to give readers a better understanding of the character.
Always. Because I mean, you can only do so much with pictures. Yes, pictures are worth 1,000 words, but I'm like,
Exactly.
what's going on? Is he walking? Is he standing still? What's going on? I need to see. Is he mad? Is he upset? Is he happy? I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Mr. Dwayne, you next, sir. Same question.
So when it comes to comics, I was kind of a little bit of a late bloomer, believe it or not, even though I am the artist of the company. I've been always more of a fan of the TV shows, and the first TV show that really kind of got me hooked was X-Men.
Oh yeah.
So after really watching X-Men and Spider-Man and the whole Fox lineup that was available at the time as a kid, that really kind of made me want to know more about these characters. And, so as that show progressed, I started to really slowly get into more comics and things of that nature. I'm also a huge anime fan. That's one of the things that I suddenly hit into in issue 1 of Nightfall, Michael's Awakening.
Okay. I've actually never got into the anime and Bleach thing. I think I missed out on something.
Or like,
I
I've seen.
mean, I used to work in a bookstore and I used to be like, what is this? What is this manga stuff? And the people look at me like, you don't know what it is? I'm like, no, I just never got into that part, but I think I kind of missed a little bit of it, but it's never too late to get into that.
No,
But yeah,
Not
I've heard a lot of things about that, so I'm gonna start digging up some stuff and see what I can.
There's definitely plenty of good stories out there. Yeah.
One of
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite animes is anime called Trigun. And the main character in Trigun, his name is Vash. And that's actually the last name of the characters in my story. They're
Oh,
all
that's
last name
cool.
is Vash. So that
Oh,
was my
Vash.
way of playing a little bit of homage. I put like a lot of Easter eggs in issue 1 because I wanted to show our personality without losing the fan base of the horror
Yeah.
genre.
Correct.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in it. For instance, there's a really cool one that I did for my brother where in the beginning of a couple pages, Michael is a college quarterback. So he calls out the count 310, 310. 310 is actually the date of my brother's birthday.
Oh,
So
that's neat.
yeah, that's one of the things that I do in there. But there's a ton of cool little Easter eggs when you purchase the comic. You'll be able to
Yeah.
check them out. Some of them are really out there in your face, and then some of them are person like the ones I just said.
Yeah, I think that's neat. The 310, you got your brother's birthday in there. I think that's neat because no one would ever catch on to it unless they either watched the show or they either knew you. But
Right.
so I love those little things that comes up later on. You're like, oh, that's what that meant. Okay, I didn't know that.
Another cool thing too about the comic though is the way how I put together Nightfall. It's more of a replay value, I guess you could say, in some ways. So like if you read issue 1, you're all caught up on the story. But when you go to issue 2, there's reasons why you can go back to issue 1 and see something that you didn't see because of that's revealed in issue 2. So those are some things that I added too. I wanted to give because there's so many collectors and people that love just having comics. I wanted to give them a reason why they should go back and read the comics.
Always, and I'm the type of person I'll read the comic 2 or 3 times just to make sure that I am understanding what's going on. I hate reading it the first time and be like, I don't know what happened.
That you have to really kind of see. In issue 3, you'll really see them, and you go back to issue 1 and go, it was right there.
Yeah. See, and that's me. I'm like, dang it, that's what they meant in that issue. I read, oh dog, but yeah, I do that. I go back and I reread just to make sure, and also for the enjoyment. I enjoy reading it anyway. But give the next question. The project Nightfall and Salvation. Tell us a little bit about that and the creative team that's behind that.
All right, so Nightfall. So for both series, they're 2 different series for anybody just tuning in. Nightfall, where we have issue 1 and issue number 2 both completed, and for Salvation we have issue 0, which is like the origin, kind of like the start, and issue 1, which we just finalized and we just completed. So my brother did. So Dwayne wrote Nightfall, created, writer, artist,
letterer, all that good stuff. All that good stuff.
All in one. I enjoy that.
What Jacket over trades.
Yeah.
And I created and wrote Salvation. We also had a colorist, John Harley Cruz. So he actually did the colors for us, which he did a good job on it.
He did a really good job on, which I must say, the artwork and the colors. I must say, is really captivating because I love the colors. I'm just like, oh, that's why when you first sent it to me, I was like, oh, I really like that cover. I like that. I'm a sucker for
all the
colors.
covers, when I designed them, I wanted it to be something that is really appealing. Right when you see the cover, even if you're seeing it from really far away, or you purchasing it from wherever, you want to just know about the story just because of the covers.
Yeah, and trust me, the covers. I was like, oh, like I've been collecting covers just for covers for the longest,
And that's cool because that's one of the rewards that we actually have is that you actually get the comic covers along with exclusive posters that we actually did.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. Now, Dwayne, same question for you? Well, not the same question because you already answered. You got a team right here in front of me.
Yeah.
So, but okay. So, give me a little bit of the history behind your comic, like how long you've been working on it, the idea, which you already pretty much kind of told me that is from Nightfall has like a little manga vibe to it. So give me just a little bit of history of how that came together on both of them.
I would say Salvation has more of the, I guess not really any of them really have manga vibe to it.
I would say Salvation has Salvation has like a blend of manga or Eastern style of artwork and blended with that Western style, superhero comics. It's like it's a well balanced blend. I think it worked out pretty well so far.
Yeah, you see it a lot more in I would say the end of issue 0 and the end actually of issue 1 as well. The fight scenes, we kind of have a little bit of a mashup where you see a little bit of both.
Oh wow!
Nightfall is definitely very more of a Western style. When I was creating Nightfall, I wanted to do something different because werewolf stories they've been told many times over. But I've really seen one that really has to do with people of color.
Correct.
So that was one thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to make the story about a person that is of color. I just wanted to make it that the guy happens to be a person of color. And this is his life. I didn't want to drag that as an emphasis of, he's suffering because people hate him because he's black.
Yeah,
I didn't
of course.
I just wanted to keep, like I said, I wanted to keep the horror genre, but just incorporate it with certain things that I can relate to, as a person of color. When it comes to family, when it comes to sacrifices, things that you have to do when you grow up with a mother that it's just you two. And there's no father involved, and the choices that she had to make when she first came into the town, which is a little more in depth with the story opposed to anything real life choices or anything like that. But I just wanted to really create a unique story.
That's cool, which is good. Which I agree with you on that part where we don't have like a werewolf or anything with a person of color. We've seen the Lon Chaneys do the werewolf. The old black and white version. I'm showing my age now. The old black and white version of, Dracula and stuff like that, which we've seen the Black Dracula and all that type of stuff, but we don't have a person of color playing the werewolf, which I think that's actually a very good idea, and you hit a good spot right there. So I think that's an awesome touch to that. Right?
Yeah, especially
I seen one in
Underworld. Underworld, there was a black guy that had it was a character, but he wasn't the main character.
He wasn't the main character though.
No,
just one of those characters.
Yeah, just that one black guy.
That one. We had to get one of them, at least one.
Yeah, but I wanted to make the story where the black guy was the main character, and this is his journey, this is his life. But another cool thing that I did too was that with the story, it starts out black and white, and then it slowly goes into color.
I like
A
that.
lot of the pages that you may see, they're in black and white, but the whole story isn't in black and white.
Yeah.
There's a deeper reasoning and meaning behind that, and
Mhm.
when you purchase the comic, you'll be able to figure that out. Because in issue 2, the whole comic is in full color, but issue 1,
Right.
there's a real important reason behind that.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you purchase it, you'll be able to find that out.
Yeah,
I can't tell everything, I gotta give
no,
you
you're not
some
supposed to. You're not supposed to tell everything. So that's actually good. So give us something to want to pick it up and to be ready to read it. But I love the idea of going from black and white to color. That actually like a good transition. Yeah. That was actually a very good idea. That's something that I have not seen too much of in modern comics or in indie comics. So that's actually a very good idea.
I don't know too many. I met one guy who actually did, but his story is
Mhm.
very different from mine, and the reason why he did it was also very different. But yeah, I like it. I like that
Yeah.
idea. I
That's
wanted
a
to
good
really, like I said, for the first issue, I wanted to really show, not outside of just being creative, I wanted to show more things that I felt that I could really bring to the story. That's something
Mhm.
different and unique. I wanted to try to put as much as I could into the story, so that way, when issue 2 comes out, people will be like, "Oh man, it's finally back! I want to see it. I want to know
Yeah.
what happened to this guy and this character and this character."
Yeah.
You know?
That's the whole idea, to get them coming back and wanting more and getting more and buying more and purchasing more. That's the whole idea, to get them to want more.
Throwaway story.
Yeah, because Nightfall, when we first created our company, Animation Comics Ent Entertainment, we wanted to
Mhm.
really have a story where we could just put out there and slowly build a fan base,
Yeah.
so to speak, a throwaway story.
Mhm.
But when I first started writing it, it started out that way, but then when you add more things, add more
Yeah.
different elements, try to be creative, it becomes such more than just a throwaway story.
Correct.
And that's what it turned it out to be, just a really good story overall.
And don't you just like it when it starts off into something small and it becomes into something
Yeah, it's very
bigger than
hard
what
for
you
me. It's
expected?
very hard because
Yeah.
I always try to figure out something that's different, something that hasn't
Mhm.
been seen before. That's always a really cool challenge for me and for my
Yeah.
brother. We always sit down and try to be like, all right, well, what hasn't been done before? What can we
Yeah.
do to change it? What can we make something new and interesting?
Correct.
We did that very well with Salvation. The character himself, when you see the character, he has 2 different colored eyes because he is
Oh,
something
wow.
with a relic, which
Mhm.
is a person that is born of human blood and demon blood.
Oh,
So that automatically makes him a character that's very different. And he's also
correct.
a person of color. But again, we don't
Yeah.
emphasize that he
Yeah.
is color, that he's just a person of color that is in this world.
Yeah. Not
Oh,
a,
yeah. It would take you from like the main plot to like
Mhm.
certain other
Yeah.
obstacles, challenges that we have for those characters.
Takes away from really just all of the story.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah.
diving into that, you don't have any other options. You limit so many options that you can really create within this world because you happen to dive back into that fact that he's a person of color and he's diving.
Yeah.
It stops all of that. So
It is. It does. And I mean, it's the times that we live in now. People take things the
yeah,
wrong way. We're living in a world of sensitivity, which I always say. People are super sensitive these days. You can't say nothing. But okay. Next question. All right. So when did your Kickstarter actually launch?
March 9th.
March 9th. So it launched at March 9th, is already running, and how's it doing so far?
So far, I would say it's doing okay. We're
Mhm.
continuing to build and build and build. It's not like an instant success as everybody
course.
would, when they
Of course.
do a Kickstarter. But I would say that every day that that the Kickstarter has going on, we've gained more and more backers, and that's
Awesome.
just staying
Awesome.
optimistic as well too.
Oh yeah,
Still
most
looking at,
definitely.
but yeah, 16 days left.
Yeah, about 16.
Still
Time
thinking,
for us to be funded.
Oh yeah.
Never
Oh yeah.
know.
It always starts to pick up when it get closer to the end. For some
Yeah.
reason, with the past Kickstarters that I have hosted on here, it actually happened like that for some of them. they actually it started off kind of slow, and then next thing you know, like almost to the end, it picked up quickly. They hit all of their goals and things like that. So it's just it's slow paced now, but it's gonna pick up. Okay, so we're gonna, of course, we're gonna throw it on our Instagram and stuff like that and get it out there to and let people know, because sometimes some people just don't know it's out there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna help get the Kickstarter connections is gonna help get it out there. So don't worry about that part. It's gonna pick up for you.
Yeah, I like that.
It is gonna pick up for you. Don't worry about that. So when it comes to the Kickstarter, speaking of that, what are some of the goals and what are some of the rewards that people can look forward to for your Kickstarter?
We have a few separate ones. Like we have for like the lower end of the pledges, we have like trading cards at $3, but that's something that we definitely wanted to do because the trading cards help give more information or details for the characters, for each character that has, you know, a period already in
Nice
going
comic,
in salvation. So just in case, you know, anybody either read the comic already or wants to, they can, you know, pledge to that reward. They can add the trading cards, which, I mean, the trading cards also appear in the other tiers of the budget. So
yeah, because the reason why we wanted to create the character cards or trading cards, call it what you will, is because like you said, when we created the stories, you know, we realized that there's still more things that we could add. And we wanted to show more detail of the characters and their growth and what brought them to where they are. Because each of our stories, it kind of puts you right there and not into the middle, but just right into the story, and it just goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it gives you, with the character cards, it gives you a little of a more of a backstory on each character, main character and sub characters as well. But I would say one of another cool one that we have is the Wolf and the Demon. The Wolf and the Demon reward tier is basically when you get both comics for $30.
Oh,
which is really good price, because not only do you get 4 comics, because each title has 2 comics. So you get four comics, and then you get the posters, which includes all of the covers that we have. So that's 4 covers you get, and then you get 4 other posters additionally, plus that. And the character sheets. Yeah. So that's a good one. And then one of my favorite ones is actually the one where we draw you with both of our main characters, Vaughn and Vash, together, and you're actually in a comic, and as you know, in one of the pages in one of our comics.
And on top of that, you get the ACE bundle, which is everything previous tier. Yeah, you get T-shirts, you get a mask, you get you get two magic cups, you get the posters, everything else that we just mentioned.
Y'all got some good stuff.
And not to mention, it's only $200 for all of that. So you get to be drawn into one of our comics.
That is worth it.
And you get the whole bundle together.
So to speak.
That is good. That is actually a good tier. You get all the stuff. You get drawn into a comic, which a lot of people are jumping on that part. They want to be drawn into a comic.
Already a few people already went for that reward, because we have 2 different ones. Cool. We have one where we just draw you as a poster, and then we have you be drawn inside the comic.
Okay. That is awesome. So that's one of the rewards. They can be drawn into the comic. That's one of the rewards. Okay.
Like you said, if that's a little too much for you, you know, you can always just get both and get the Wolf and the Demon, and you got all 4 titles.
That ain't look, being drawn into a comic, that is never too much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that you can show your kids.
Yeah, like, look, that was in the comic.
Exactly. There you go.
That's why I collected this one. That was in the comic.
Tiers are like limited spots to be joined into the poster and the comic. It's only 10 spots for each one. So
wow. So that's a limited time.
Yeah, we don't want to have too many, because that's a lot of drawing. That's a lot of.
Yeah.
We limit to 10. 10 is a good number, though. You know, that's a lot of people.
That
to
is
really
to
draw
be
into.
drawn.
But we wanted to show our appreciation,
Yeah, always.
for purchasing such a high amount. We wanted to give as much as we could. And not only did we want to do that, but we wanted to do it where we felt it was a good deal. I mean, to get all of that stuff, that's way more than $200. Most people,
it is.
They do that for like $300, $350. Ours only $2.
That is true. That is a reasonable price for everything that you get. I believe that's worth every single penny. So now, after this Kickstarter is over, and after you rest your hands from drawing all those people within the comics, what is next after this campaign? What other projects you all have coming up next? Are you going to rest? Are you going to start on your next project? What's going to be next?
We do have,
we have 2 projects available that we're working on right now. Actually,
one's going to be we're trying to switch it up because we have a couple of serious, like serious tone style comics. So like the next one we wanted to put out would be a comedy, which is called Brook City. And Brook City is more like it's like Boondocks meets Family Guy.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what Brook City
that would be the best way to explain it.
And the funny thing about it is that the characters are actually us, but it's like turned up to like 1,000, and we're just because when we were younger, because we're both from Brooklyn, New York, and hence the name Brook City. But when we were younger, there was so many crazy things because we're from New York, so there's so many crazy things that happened when we were young, and we would just sit back and go, "Did that really just happen? That really just happened!"
Wow!
And so we used to grow up. We was like, "Man, wouldn't it be crazy if we did like a comic or some type of animated series or show with that?" And so that's where that idea really spawned from. And as we got older and we started to really create our company, it was like, all right, we got to do a Brook City story. And so we've been working on along with our because that's a story that we did together. We wrote it. And I'm doing the artwork, but we're all writing it together. Then we have our separate stories that we both are doing.
Of course.
So then our other story is Ichi Warrior of Doom, which is actually written by my brother. And then the Immortal story that's actually written by me.
Oh wow! So you all are actually not even taking a break after you already got these 2 projects.
We want to have a consistent basis. So once you have those comics, we want to have more. We even have 2 more outside of the ones we just told you that we're already thinking about. We already have the concepts and we're already writing them down.
Wow!
Putting together the characters as we speak.
When you're trying to work, when you're ready to work for yourself, there is no rest.
Exactly.
There is no rest except when you lay your head down when you're ready to go to bed. So that, trust me, I can understand with all the things that I'm taking on. I'm just like, do I ever get enough sleep? So you ask yourself that question: do I ever get enough sleep? But
I haven't got good sleep in about 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But of course, when you trying to build an empire and you're trying to build a brand and stuff like that, you're constantly thinking about it, so you're constantly working, so you're constantly trying to keep the momentum and keep their attention. So I can understand by you going right to the next project. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not gonna knock y'all at all. Yeah, I'm not gonna knock you at all. So with all of that being said, talk about the Kickstarter and everything. So if people want to support your Kickstarter, go ahead and give us a little information, or either just support you, or either learn more about you guys. Go ahead and give us your information, where they can contact you, where they can see the Kickstarter, things of that matter.
You can find all of our information really on our website, animationcomicsent.com. And then there you can see, not only can you see all of the comics that we have for our Kickstarter, but you can also see our future projects that we have, which we're talking about, the Immortal story and the Brook City.
As well as reviews that we've done. Also, he's done a lot of reviews on movies and like video games.
So, do you all have a YouTube?
That's actually something that we're going to be working on. We actually are thinking about doing a motion comic for the comics that we have available.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that we're going to be doing for our YouTube page.
Yeah,
along with having a more interactive version of the reviews that we already have, and something that we have coming up. But yeah, the Kickstarter right now is currently what we are all about. It's a good way to talk about. There you can see our video. We go more in depth about the characters and the stories, such as Salvation and Nightfall, Michael's Awakening.
And they can see all the other rewards that we have on there as well. And even, if we didn't say it or speak about something personally, they can always go on there, so read about it, read a little bit more about us and the company.
Because we have our Facebook links on the Kickstarter as well. When you go to our page, more stuff about us, and we're pretty crazy guys. So you always be pretty entertained when you see us on Facebook, especially.
There's no such thing as crazy. People just don't understand us. That's all.
There you go. I like it.
I said there's no such thing as crazy. People say no. I'm just misunderstood. You're just not on my level. There's no such thing as crazy. But that is actually awesome. So make sure you all please do go and support this Kickstarter. You got a couple hours before it's shut down for maintenance, y'all. So please go and support this Kickstarter. We want to get them some stuff in before it actually shut down. 2 hours. 2 hours before it shuts down, but of course it'll be back up. It's just down for maintenance. But when you all wake up tomorrow, you all are going to see probably like a massive amount of numbers. So we're just going to go ahead and say that right now. Keep it positive. It's going to build as you go. It's starting off slow, but it's going to build as you go. Because we're going to
explodes like when we come back.
Oh, it's going to explode. It is going to explode. Trust me. So we once again we want to thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Terrence, for joining us on tonight Kickstarter Connections. You all please go and support these two gentlemen. This is Ace Animation Comics Ent, and please support their Kickstarter, Nightfall and Salvation. They have some good stuff and some good rewards in there for some reasonable prices. Go out there and just go ahead and support Comic Book Fam. Y'all know what we do and how we do it. So we support each other. We that's what I call my people. I call them Comic Book Family because that's what family do. We support each other and we help push that out there, and so people will know that you're there and that you're there and that they'll come back and get more stuff. That's what we want them to come back. So you can keep writing and keep going.
Right.
And
we have so much that we have available. But we also have so much that we're working on, and if we don't have a successful Kickstarter, it prevents us from continuing that ongoing stuff that we have. So every little bit helps, whether it's $1, $30, every little bit counts.
Well, just trying to introduce something new ideas to, trying to share just our creativity with others, whether it's like-minded people or other creators, fans, just trying to share like things like that.
We have the Wiggle that joined us. They're asking, can I see the art? Wiggle, if you can do us a favor, go ahead and check out their Kickstarter. Go ahead and give your Kickstarter information one more time.
It's Salvation and Nightfall Kickstarter.
Salvation and Nightfall Kickstarter. You can see the art. I will attest to it. They have some very good art on there. Way better than very good art. That art is the first thing that caught. I'm a sucker for cover pages. That's the first thing that caught my eye. I was like, oh.
Yeah, the covers is always
had me doing my phone on like this, like. Yeah, I like that. Yep, I like that cover. Yeah, that's very good artwork. Please go and check them out on the Kickstarter. Go ahead and support them if you can on the Kickstarter. It said,
"Oh, can you drop?
You drop a link? Can we drop a link? Let me see here. Let me see if I can throw a link in the So see that we're probably finna get you some people. here to go ahead and just 1 second, Wiggle Wiggle. We gonna do this just for you. We gonna make sure we get this link for you. Salvation and Nightfall. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So what we're gonna do here. See if I can get this link here, and I am personally gonna go ahead and type this in here for Mr. Wiggle, Mr. I do apologize, Mr. or Miss Wiggle Wiggle. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Do me a big favor, Wiggle Wiggle. It's not giving me the link right now for some reason. I don't know if it's starting the maintenance, but if you can go to Kickstarter, Wiggle Wiggle. I hope you say wrenches can drop links in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, I dropped it in the private chat.
Oh, you dropped in the private chat? Give me 1 second here. Oh, you're a dude. Wiggle, thank you very much. Thank you very much for saying that. Okay, I think I got somebody that's dropping it in the chat for me. Give me 1 second here. I'm so sorry, Wiggle Wiggle. Well, it just says Wiggle Wiggle. You know, I don't want to be biased.
I like the profile pic.
Yeah, it's 20.
Yeah, the colors are vibrant.
It's 2021. Wiggle Wiggle. We don't want to be biased at all. We don't want to be biased at all. Give me 1 second. Someone's getting it for me. And while they're getting that right there, here we go. All right. Wiggle Wiggle, I hope you can see this. I am just drop that link right there in the chat. So you should be able to get that link right there. I'm also going to post a link right here so everyone can see that. You know, it's right here in the chat. If you're in the chat, you can see that link there. That is the link to their Kickstarter. All right, got my people are dropping in the links. Thank you so much, Indie Comic Dispatch. You're welcome to Wiggle. He must have got it. He said nice in all caps. So looks like you just got yourself another backer. Just that quick for Kickstarter Connections live. You got yourself another backer right here on the Kickstarter Connections. That is an awesome thing. That's an awesome feeling right there. That means that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
All right. I'm glad to hear that. I'm excited about that now. See, I told you it's gonna pick up. You gotta say it start off slow, but it's gonna speed up.
Right.
So
explosion.
There you go. It's come. That explosion is coming. But with all of that being with all of that being said, this was an awesome show. Dwayne, Terrence, I thank you all for taking the time out your busy schedules and to interview with me about your Kickstarter. It is going to pick up and it is going to explode like you want it to. We just saw proof of that tonight. So I look forward to bigger and better things. I also look forward to that comedy comic. What's the name of it again?
Yeah.
I want I want that one too. I think I want that. Hopefully you do a Kickstarter on that one and you can come back on Kickstarter Connection so we can go ahead and get that one pushed out. But with that being said, we thank you all for joining us. And if there is nothing else, gentlemen, like I always say, you guys, stay positive, test negative. See you next Tuesday.